my take on the Nobel Prize in Physics, Wolfgang Pauli, spelled P-A-U-L-I, 1945, 1 out of 1. I'm filming this Friday, 20 December 2024. I am Tanis Coralee, she, her, hers of Graceland. I am Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Norway and United States of America. And I'm talking through the Wolfgang Pauli, he, him, his of Austria in United States of America. Nobel Prize in Physics, year of award 1945. He won the Nobel Prize in Physics, 1 out of 1 of the prize, 100%, for his work regarding what is sometimes called the Pauli Exclusion Principle. I provide my take/perspective on his award and contextualize it in terms of the awarding of the prize being time coincident with the end of World War II and a little after world records in the 1 mile run by male Swedish swimmers. Swimmers? No. Runners. The proper mile, 5,280 feet. Okay, so male Swedish runners. And why the hell would I bring that up? Because the Nobel Prize, Mr. Nobel, Alfred Nobel, is Swedish by ancestry, even if just by means of via. He's part Swedish, somewhere along the family line. So there is actually a very cool, I am a middle distance runner, and I have a Befriending Dead Runners playlist, and I was like, this one's good. This one's good. All right. Okay. So why not end of the year do a little collision between some of my areas of excellence, right? And so why did I choose him today? I chose him today because Elvis was like, "You shall not exclude me. I am your Pauli baby." What? You're gonna win a Nobel Prize in Physics? Do I get a help? Well, no, but yes. But do I teach him enough physics, us living together, that he actually goes on to win a Nobel Prize in Physics because I'm that good of a mentor? Ooh, that would be so cool. And can I win one first, though? Nobel Prize in Physics? Anyway, so he was like, honey, you called Sharpie the gray squirrel today. She was first squirrel out, breakfast, lunch, and breakfast and dinner. Anyway, but today I decided I came up with a new term for her, and she loved it. I was like, you are the biggest fashionista. And she was like, no, I'm a fashionista. She has these beautiful arms that are gray, but there's like a speckled mottled tan on them, tan brown. And it's just, so I'm like, I have not ever seen anything in human fashion as beautiful as her arms right now. Okay, so her arms. So I called her a fashionista because I was just like, I got nothing to say. So who's the biggest fashionista who's ever won a Nobel Prize, an Academy Award, or Oscar, or a Grammy Award? Any gender. Wolfgang Pauli. And, you know, and so I was like, all right, that's why I'm going to choose the man. And yes, and it's a reminder, like, yeah, I watched the Nobel proceedings from this year and did a couple videos on it, and it was just like, you know why I love being in mathematics and physics? We're capable of being fashionistas, and it's not even our profession. Right, it's sometimes there's a little bit of a lack of intelligence in the entertainment industry. Miley Cyrus excluded, and Elvis Presley excluded. Miley Cyrus is gonna, you know, she's like, can you mentor me too, Tanis? This is, when's this gonna happen? Okay, she's adding to the list already. Okay, she hasn't even got the first 6 through. Kevin Hart's like, I still want my PhD. Josh is like, I still want my PhD. And Selma McIntosh is like, please help me. For the randomest of reasons. So that's why they're all getting name dropped in this video. Our little Sharpie the gray squirrel life raft has come along. And so this prize was roughly time coincident with my Swedish heroes Gunder Hag and Arne Andersson setting world records in the 1 mile run. And, you know, there was a flurry of good scientific activity up to, you know, that enabled the building of weapons of mass destruction. This little lad of mine, you know, we're going with, yeah, Oppenheimer. Okay, Yeah, and there was also, you know, the athletes who were like, screw the Olympic Games, who canceled everything. We're still going to run fast. And so, you know, I appreciate the inclusion of this work that is very foundational to more than just physics, though as a home in physics. And it has been extended to outside of the actual, it's like us humans in physics. And this is one that I do both experiments and theory, so you guys can continue to wage that battle. But within physics, there's the experimentalists and the theorists, and they're like, no, Pauli Exclusion Principle applies to humans too. We are the electrons, or we are the atoms, you know, like we're gonna take it, that quantum thing, and we're gonna make it about humans. So there's like, this is actually one of those ones that's like been popularized at the human level within physics, of like, no, 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 no. If you do theory, you can't do experiments. And I'm like, I do that plus field work. And they're like, screw you. Okay, you're an exception. The rest of us, don't fuck with the experimentalists. But that tends to be the mentality of the theorists. Okay, so this is a good one to cover in terms of like, essentially, the Pauli Exclusion Principle means like, under certain circumstances, things can't be shared. Like, I am not in the exact same physical place as Elvis Presley. And Elvis Presley, when I'm filming this video. Like, just basic, it's like a basic common sense kind of thing. Yeah. And so I appreciate the fight that this man went through to get this, like, sometimes the hardest things to get through are the things that are just like super common sense, and like the basic proof of it is just so simple. All right. And so, but there's a lot of fight with that to get it through. And so there's kind of, I was like, it reminded me of the Swedish runners, Gunderhag and Arne Andersson. And then also, but then this is kind of maybe he was chosen in part to win this award in 1945 to bring kind of a reminder to the Swedish people that we had these excellent runners in the 1 mile run, but we also we were able of retaining our culture and not losing our cultural identity during this world war. So in that sense, we excluded the rest of the world, even though it was a world war, and we preserved the Nobel Prize, which is a reflection of a propagation of our own culture. All right, so taking this prize and taking the meaning of the thing itself to add to a harmonious end, so to speak, of World War II for the country of Sweden. And on what it means to be a fighter in Lakota Native American. I had to fight to get this through, and especially if there was that level of synchrony. Like, I haven't heard of that ever. I mean, there is no equivalent to the Nobel Prize in sports. So, I mean, but like this male Swedish runners, like, transcended sports and like perhaps got even integrated into the Nobel Prize, like, synchrony. It's just beautiful. So I'm part Lakota Native American, and we are not the type of Native American that thinks being a fighter is synonymous with being evil. That tends to be the Cherokee, which is curious because they experienced removal while my Lakota family experienced massacre. So if you've ever heard of the place called Wounded Knee, that was Lakota. Guess we grew up in the Cherokee didn't. Yes. So there's something I didn't know was that fighting, and it might be it's the entertainment industry. Again, those people who can't do that much. So they applied a stereotype to Elvis Presley of because he fought people who abused him, he must have been on drugs. So being a druggie is synonymous with being a fighter. Josh Kerr, Summer McIntosh, and I all go, who's saying Tanis lived in Australia? That's the biggest bullshit ever. Drugs don't trigger us. Don't worry. I got you covered, Summer and Josh. If you ever want to pick a fight with them, you pick a fight with me. Okay? This is coming from a part Lakota. I'm grown up. At least I'm a fighter, right? You pick a fight with me, right? Am I evil for defending us when we're abused and attacked? I don't believe so. Yeah, there's like the Cherokee are like the pretty ones who say they're always innocent and they didn't do anything wrong and yada 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 yada. Meanwhile, they like personally attack a bunch of people. I'm like, I'm so happy I am not Cherokee. I am proud to be a Lakota, and I am proud to be Duwamish. The Duwamish are like maybe the only notable city tribe, like city Native Americans. Seattle is like even named after Chief Sealth and is on the Duwamish land. So like both Lakota and Duwamish were the beauty is on the inside kind of people. So if you wanna harmonize with Native American me, I am just, so far as I'm aware, Lakota and Duwamish. No Cherokee here. Anyway, that was my take on the Nobel Prize in Physics, Wolfgang Pauli, 1945, 1 out of 1.